February of 2004. That was the last time that a world number one was not named Federer, Nadal, Djokovic or Murray. And 18 years later, here we are, with a new world number one that, let's be honest, 3 years ago nobody would have guessed he was gonna be the next world number one. But the evolution of Daniil Medvedev in the last couple of seasons has been absolutely remarkable, especially that 2019 season where he passed from being a good player to one of the best players in the world. Last year he was able to pick his first Grand Slam at the US Open, and right now, although falling to Nadal 2 consecutive times, he's achieved the dream of many, being the new world number one. And although you have the feeling that right now he's not the best player in the world, because Nadal has beaten him 2 times now in this season, I do think him reaching world number one is well deserved. Many people have this perception of world number one as a really dominant one, and someone who is undoubtedly the best player in the world. And yes, in the last 18 years that's been the case, especially Federer and Djokovic have been very dominant world number ones, but there has been some moments in tennis history where the world number one position switches many times, and that's probably gonna be the case in upcoming years, at least in my opinion. Because although Medvedev has been the best player out of this new generation, which is not new now, but you understand me, you don't have the feeling that he's very superior to his biggest opponent. And although Medvedev is world number one, many people don't agree he deserves that position. And that's a bit the topic that I would like to speak today, as Medvedev seems to be one of the least liked world number ones in tennis history. A week ago, I posted a poll asking who is the most hated player in the tour. I didn't put Medvedev as an option, and many people said that he should have been an option. So it's clear that many people don't like him, and we've seen that with many crowds, or at least they don't find him as entertaining as other players. Me personally, I've already spoken on how I'm a big fan of his, and especially his personality outside the court, as I find him very honest and very sincere. When he has to speak up on something, he does, and he's not afraid of giving his opinion on controversial topics. On the court, I do agree his game is not one of the most aesthetic on tour. His game is actually very unorthodox, as you may all know, but I really admire the way he is able to win his matches. Something that I think that people who play tennis should really learn from. He's really smart, and the way he counters the opponent's game is really impressive. Because yes, he's got great shots in his game, especially his serve and his backhand, but to reach world number one with the game he has, you really gotta be extremely consistent and have a very high tennis IQ. But on the other hand, I do understand how people who don't watch as much tennis, and let's say are more casual tennis fans, do not find him entertaining and haven't even looked at his personality outside the court, and they've probably seen his biggest tantrums on court and think the guy is absolutely crazy. And Medvedev himself has admitted that he is ashamed of himself when he boils up in the court and has really bad attitude, so it is what it is. It is extremely difficult to find someone who is extremely competitive but at the same time has great attitude on court and is able to keep his calm when he is very angry. That surely is one of the most admirable things about Rafael Nadal. But the majority of players from this next generation do find it difficult to not boil up and take it on the racket, or in the worst of cases with the umpire. But like I say, in my opinion, Daniil Medvedev, although having a lot of character on court, is a really likable guy. Like I say, he's very honest, he is humble on the feet, he's a good sportsman when he has to be, so I really do think he is a great guy. But to be one of the most loved figures in the tour, first of all, while the big three is still there, you're always gonna be in the shadow of them, because they're the 3 biggest figures in the history of this sport. The influence that they have on people is absolutely huge, but still, even if they were not there, marketing-wise, I'm not sure Medvedev would be the biggest name in tennis. It's actually a shame that Zverev and Tsitsipas have these controversial moments in the court that do damage their image a lot, because from a marketing standpoint, they are young, they are good looking, they are surely gonna have great results in the future, but like I say, their image has been damaged, especially in the last year or so. That's why the other day, in my last video, I said that Alcaraz would be one of the biggest names in tennis. The guy has an exciting game, has a great personality, he seems very humble, very hardworking, and has great attitude on court. So you know that he's not gonna have any controversial moments at all on court. So he's a very interesting figure for people, and of course, big brands that partner with him. Dominic Thiem is also a very likable guy, with one of the most exciting games on the tour, and people really love him. The thing is that he's a bit older, but we'll have to see how he returns, because when in form, he's an absolute beast. But going back to Medvedev, although he's world number one now, and is easily a top 3 player on hard court for the last couple of years now, I'm not sure if he's gonna be a very dominant world number one, who let's say spends over 100 weeks at the world number one spot in his career. And on top of that, I'm not sure if he's gonna be a massive figure in the world of tennis, a sport icon. I don't believe he's gonna be that type of figure. And I think he knows it. He already said it, the kid inside him stopped dreaming. If you saw his press conference after losing to Nadal at the Australian Open, he seemed very upset at how the crowd treated him. And what he meant by the kid stopped dreaming is that he's gonna play for him, his family, his friends, but he pretty much doesn't care about filling crowds and playing in front of thousands of people who in his dreams as a kid admired him, but right now don't seem to do so, or at least yet. So, let me know in the comments, what do you think about Daniil Medvedev? Do you think he should receive a bit more of appreciation from the tennis fans? What type of career do you think he will have? He surely is on his way to having a great one. He's already achieved the two biggest achievements there is in tennis, winning a Grand Slam and being world number one. So let's see, he's still 26 years old, he has a lot of time to win more Grand Slam titles, and who knows if he can have a legendary career. So, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If that's the case, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel to enjoy more tennis videos like this every week. That said, I hope I can see you guys in my next video. Peace!